everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to Grillin for Awesomism, where we talk about all the fun things that you can do while you're grilling. And we've got fun recipes, we've got fun ideas, and today we're going to talk about it's spring and summer. We're in that
Absolutely.
season, and we're
The
going to give
weather
you
has broke everybody, so it's time
yes,
to get out there and cook and meet some new people. That's what a big part of this podcast is all about. So now's the time to get proactive. If you live in an apartment or, a condominium or some kind of setup like that where you have a community grill, now's the time to activate that thing and meet some new people. I promise. The weather's gone good. People are coming out. You're going to meet some new people. And as we know, that means a lot to you guys. So now is the time.
yeah, because you know what? People nowadays, be, between the winter when most people are stranded in their houses, and we've had a lot of snow this winter. We haven't because we live in Florida, but I know the North has had tons of snow.
Philly
So
got
people,
hit hard.
yeah, and people start getting in that depression because it's cloudy out all the time. It's the short days and the cold weather, and people aren't saying hello. And we've become such a society of this, you know.
Right. For
And
sure.
I heard yesterday when we were watching the Masters, because the Masters is going on right now in golf, and they don't let you take your phone in. They even kicked
Mm.
a PGA Tour guy out because he brought his phone in,
Right.
and they're really particular about it because they want people to engage with each other. They want people to watch the golf tournament, not sit on their phones. Everybody
Yeah.
was so
Be
attached to our
engaged.
screens. Yes, and this is not good for our mental health. And people are no longer learning to talk to each other and connect with each
Right.
other. And too many people are lonely and depressed. So we at Growing for Awesomism want to help with that. And one of the ways that we think you can do it, like he said, if you're in a townhouse, if you're in a condo, even if you're in a neighborhood, drag your grill out to your driveway. One of our neighbors did this not too long ago. It was hilarious. Dragged his grill, he's got a beautiful backyard, dragged his grill out to his driveway, and he was grilling out there. You could smell it. Everybody's walking
Yes.
outside, right? Because it was kind of a cool day, so we all had our windows open. Guess what? That starts conversations.
Yes. And before you know it, maybe that job opportunity that you've been praying for, or maybe that person you've been looking for, or maybe even just that friend you never had is that person, and
Yeah,
vice versa. Maybe you're going to attract that person by just cooking, and it's going to fill a void in your life that maybe you didn't know was there. But it's good to connect with people, and you never know where that can take you because people are amazing. There's great people out there, and it's time for you to connect with them through food. That's what Grilling for Awesomism is all about.
yeah, because you know what? I think people have become so accustomed to all the anger on social media,
Yeah.
and they think that that's real life, and it's not. It's not real life. And real life is people caring about each other. And so people are almost afraid to go talk to each other. So, one great way to do it is to cook, to grill. Like we were talking
Right.
about, if you live in an apartment complex or a townhouse complex or whatever, where you have grills in the center of the place by your pools, start grilling. Bring your taco uppercut, bring your yep, and bring your
Got
V
the V
rub,
rub.
V rub, and now you got yourself some really good. You're hearing the
The
hamburger
smells are
sizzling.
going to be.
Yep, and then people are
People are
coming
going to
over.
come like a cartoon when the smell wafts past them and they just gravitate over.
Exactly, and you set this on the side of it, and people walk by and they look at it and they go, "What's this?" Now you've
Yeah.
got a 3 minute
What's this
conversation.
taco getting punched in half? What's this about? Now they have to know.
Exactly, exactly. And then you say, well, you see that pasta salad I have right here? That actually is made with taco uppercut recipe, and I'm doing the V rub on the hamburgers. You guys want one? I've got a couple extra hamburgers.
Right.
Next thing you know, you're sitting at the table talking to somebody, and you find out that that guy works where you want to work, and he goes, "Hey, we're hiring."
Exactly.
I mean, you
Food
really
could equal opportunity, whether it's friendship, jobs, companionship. Food brings people together that don't even speak the same languages. Don't ever undersell the value of just getting out there and grilling, cooking, having fun because you're going to connect to people. It's an ancient art. It's definitely going to work. Trust me.
and little league is starting and spring
Yeah,
for football. So you know what? Some of these parents are out there tailgating, or you're going to a Savannah Banana game and you're tailgating. You know what? Bring these. Guess what? The guys
yes.
somebody else is just pulling in and they don't really know anybody. They've got two kids. It's a young couple getting out with their two kids. You're grilling. You say, hey, you want to taste? You want to have a taste of
Right.
this? Boom. You know,
Yes. Before you know it, maybe your kid just met their lifelong friend. Like life is funny like that. And it's nice to utilize food as that vessel. I'm telling you.
it really
Definitely
is.
utilize this stuff and get out there and enjoy this weather and use it as your time to connect because we've all been a little down with the weather, no matter where you live. So it's nice to just get that refreshing vibe. Now's the time, guys. Time to start grilling.
Well, I'll tell you, I thought about this the other day because we went and got new phones and we got them up at Sam's, right? Because we got them through one of the
Love Sam's
vendors
Club.
at Sam's. I know. And so we had to wait because they had to, take our old phones and put it to our new
Yeah.
phones. And there was four of us and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I kind of walked around and I was trying samples. And I went to go, they had a shrimp. They had done shrimp, right?
Okay.
So I went to get it. And this older guy was standing there and he said, oh, you waiting for the shrimp too? I said, yeah. We kind of start chatting. Pretty soon there's like six of us while the woman's making the shrimp. We're all kind of chatting, laughing, and talking. And I thought to myself when I walked away, you know what? This was over food. We were all
Yep.
waiting to get a tiny little piece of shrimp.
Just a sample.
And the next thing you know, we're all kind of laughing and talking to each other. And I live, and we've talked about this before, we live in a very predominant senior area. We live in Marion County, Florida, in Ocala. We live in a 55 plus community. Half of Marion County is 55 plus communities, literally. And, there's a lot of seniors who are lonely. They don't know, yeah, they have their neighbors. And in some of the neighborhoods like mine, where we have four clubhouses and all this kind of stuff,
Right.
they go to, but not all of them have that.
Right.
Okay. Not all of them are like that. Some of them, they may just do events once in a while. Okay. So I think a lot of these seniors go to Sam's, go to Publix, go to different places just to have a conversation
Yes.
because they're lonely. Well, guess what? That little old man, and I know he was lonely because he was just standing there and you could tell. All of a sudden, he had unbelievable conversations with us.
Right.
You know what I
Over
mean?
a sample of shrimp. And that leads me to my great point that I want to make here is that like food is universal and it's literally everybody needs it. It's not like you need to invite somebody into it. It's a universally needed thing. So we're always going to come together for it just by nature. So the fact that that little piece of shrimp brought that guy maybe his only conversation of the whole day, that's the power of food, even at such a small scale. Totally. I love that you told that story.
Yeah. And
That's the point.
it was. And you could tell, he was, because I saw him later in the store just walking around by himself, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, he's probably lonely. I mean, let me tell you another story that, and this is a gospel true story. One of our neighbors found one of the other neighbors very discombobulated. And so they took him home and they found out that his wife died 6 months earlier. And this was
Mm,
the first time in his entire life he lived alone, right?
wow.
Because, back then he's in his 80s. Back then, right? Most people got married right out of high school. As many people went
Absolutely.
to college and most people got married right out of high school. His wife just died. He's trying to navigate on his own. So you know what one of my neighbors did? And of course she's from Chicago, so I have to do a shout out to Chicago here. She like me. But you know what she did? She put together an entire volunteer group to bring food on holidays or special occasions or the weekend to the other ones in the neighborhood who are alone, so that on Easter, somebody comes to their front door with food, talks to them for a few minutes, lets them know that they care, right? And now he doesn't have to just sit there by himself.
Right.
He knows that food was made with love by fellow neighbors. He now is meeting them. They're meeting him. They're connecting with him. And, that brings me to what we're going to be announcing real soon. So if you're listening to this and you haven't seen our announcement, we are going to start Empower Bags. And we will have them in these themes: self care, pets, grilling and cooking. One will be, and each one of the grilling and cooking will have a taco uppercut in it. Okay. Cars and trucks, because there's a lot of people who love cars or trucks. Okay.
Totally.
And we'll do like the sporty cars and all the cool things, right? I know you do. You're always putting pictures out here. In outdoors, okay? And the outdoors will be can be anything from going to the beach to the mountains to whatever. And we will be doing products in them to let you know that we care. There will be magnets, there will be handwritten cards, there will be items for each one of those. And each bag is worth over $125. They'll be worth over 125. And to sponsor a bag is $125. That includes shipping and everything. And we will send somebody with a bag like this. This is one of our cat bags. Okay. So
Love
if
it.
you have a cat, and you'll be full, it'll be full to the brim
Right.
of items letting you know that people care, that there's people out there who care. People that feel alone, whether they're autistic, ADHD, have PTSD, a senior, we will show you we care. And we are working with three amazing companies right now. Obviously, White Bulls Barbecue is one major, F Body Nation, right? And that's really our big one for cars and trucks, and Roses Natural. So if you're hearing this, please go to rosesnatural.com, shop her, follow it's F Body Nation on all the social media.
Camaro guys.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's all the Camaros and all those kind of stuff.
Firebirds. Yeah.
Right, Firebirds, you name it. But what's cool is even if you like the Mustangs, you're going to see other cool cars.
For sure.
Okay. So at Buddy Nation, and then obviously White Bulls Barbecue shop. So, we've got so many cool things planned for Grillin for Awesomism. See, order that tri-pack.
There you go.
Yeah, this is the Brotherly Grub Pack. You actually get a discount when you order all three. I think it's
Nice.
like $5 off when you do it that way, and you get to experience all the flavors for a little bit of a price break. And we only ship priority USPS, so you'll get it in 2 days when it ships,
Yeah,
no
and you
matter where
do.
you're at in the country, and that includes Hawaii and Alaska. So may not
Sweet.
get there in 2 days to those places, but it'll get there quick.
Yeah, it will because you send it from Philly to Florida.
Yeah. We've
So,
also shipped overseas to people that are in the service, so that's no problem for us to navigate either. We know how to handle those PO boxes, certain kind of PO, but we've handled that as well. So don't hesitate. We've definitely done those orders too. We just want to get you the flavor in your life. That's all.
yeah, and you know what? I think the other thing too is this is one of my biggest reasons why I love working with White Bulls Barbecue for Team Awesomism to work with you is not only do we really believe in you and your product and everything else, but I really think Bobby Kennedy, Secretary Kennedy, is really coming out with the Eat Real,
Mhm.
because we are finding that so many people are having health issues because they're putting basically almost plastic
Junk.
in their stomach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so,
Stuff that's not even food.
right, exactly. And so
Yeah.
you eat real. And so many of the younger ones grew up not learning how to cook or grill
Yeah.
or anything. And so a lot of the different recipes and things that we're showing them are really simple, easy at home, not expensive. And what really makes it is adding your flavors. It
And
really
look,
does.
nowhere in these ingredients. This is salt, onion, chili, paprika, and assorted spices. There's no additives. There's no chemicals. There's in taco uppercut and derub, there's not even sugar. So you're talking about low sodium, non-GMO, all raw organic ingredients. This is not like super processed stuff. This is not like something we want to be shelf stable for 5 years by adding a bunch of, dare I say, plastics and silicas and types things of that nature that are just not good for you. We don't do those things. This, even with Rack City, same thing. Low sodium. The difference is it has a little bit of light brown sugar in it, but even still, light brown sugar, as you can see right there, light brown sugar. So
But
not even full brown sugar in there, despite having sugar. So that ties into what Lynn's saying about just eating real food. We're also not going to jump on here and push you a product or something of that nature that is going to be bad for you. So I'm glad you did point that out because that's a big key too. I think people are not aware enough about what they put into their body. Um, and it starts with little things like seasonings. Starts with like these things you wouldn't think about. And before you know it, you're consuming a stockpile of GMOs and just bad things for your body.
100%, 100%. And you know what else? All that I've been really reading out because Team Awesomism is hosting a webinar on gut health, brain health, and the
Yes.
connection with three of the leading experts in America. Okay. And this is one of the things that all the research I've been doing too is so many products like this, not this, but like this, sneak in sugar and you become addicted to sugar and you don't realize you're addicted to
Yes.
sugar. And the
It's a
next thing you,
dopamine hit.
yes, it is. And the
Yes.
next thing you know, you can't get, you're craving food. And then you're craving all these preservatives and you're craving all this stuff. It's like when Preston, Peyton's brother, came last week, I bought him cherry preserves made by one of the women that lives in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's all natural. And you know what? It tasted so much better. But when I got done putting it on a piece of toast, guess what? I didn't feel like, oh, now I got to have something really
Yeah.
sweet because I
Didn't
wasn't
give you
eating
this
that
like
sugar.
artificial jitters from all those
Yes,
bad sugars in it.
yes. And
Yes,
this is not something we talk enough about
totally.
because we have programmed Americans to think, oh, the only where you're going to get the really good food is by going to the expensive Whole Foods
The
and
Whole
stuff. And then,
Foods or
right.
these types of things. Yes.
And then people
Really,
said,
it's the lady that's making something wholesome three doors down that's not using any chemicals. It's just the natural process of how you would make jam preservatives or whatever. Like it's just like very simple, healthier alternatives. And you can not only are you getting something healthier, you're supporting somebody that's doing something small, excuse me. But like, yeah, like you're supporting somebody that's doing something and that's helpful in its own way. Instead of supporting some big box situation that's selling you junk, you're supporting a friend or a neighbor or a family member that maybe it's a passion product for them, but in turn, you're also getting something that's a much healthier and better for you alternative. So I think that's a win-win all the way.
I do too, don't you?
Yes.
When those pickles we bought, remember?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And we bought sourdough bread for Preston.
Yes.
And you know,
Good
we have
sourdough, people, is priceless. Find that friend in your neighborhood that makes their own sourdough. It's so good for you. My time in California, I lost 40 pounds just working out, eating avocado toast and raw, like real sourdough made from scratch. And sourdough is so good for you. I don't remember a time that my digestive system worked that well. Not to give you guys too many, but like sourdough is great for you as well, for sure.
well, and if you're on Instagram, not only do you need to follow Team Awesomism and Awesomism Mom and White Bulls Barbecue, but you need to follow Mariana underscore V underscore Pina, Pena. She's a big sourdough. She's a friend. She's
Mm,
bought in White Bulls from
yes.
you. And she is the sweetest person. Like she's literally the sweetest person. Okay.
I loved her videos, just using
I
the
know.
product. That was
She,
awesome.
she's such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And she cooks clean. She bakes
Yeah.
clean. She cooks clean. And you know what? She's inspiring. Okay, she is
Yeah.
because
Check
she
her out,
every day.
guys.
And guess what? She's a full-time teacher.
Awesome.
So it's not like, she's just sitting in her house all day. She's
Yeah.
showing you how you can cook clean, bake clean, all while she has a job.
Right.
Because I get tired of people saying, well, yeah, Lynn, you work from home, so you can do that.
Right.
Well, guess what? You have to make that priority. Stop driving through the drive-through and do it because by
Yes.
the time you drive off your path, go to the drive-through, sit in line, order your food, pick up your food, get home, you could have gone straight home and cooked clean.
Yeah. And I feel like as we'll try to do more on this pod as well, which we've done with like the chicken examples and stuff, it's like just because you have to put in the effort, I think people also try to talk themselves out of it because of the cost, because they don't know how to break down certain things for certain meals and make it far more frugal. Like buying a whole chicken, I'll just give you guys an example as a butcher and like off the top of my head. a whole chicken, you split it in half, even right there, that's two big ass meals. I mean, you got two half a chicken. So you got a breast, a thigh, a wing. Like there's a lot of meat in there. But you could even take that further, split that again. Now you have a dinner for you and let's just say you're married. It's just you and your wife. Now you have two thighs for dinner. That's only a third of the chicken. Now you have two breasts for dinner. That's only a third of the chicken. And then you have the wings and the other parts of the meat. Like there's tenderloin meat in there. Like you could break that down for salads. Like you can get really frugal with an $8 or $9 chicken that you can eat 3 or 4 or 5 meals off of. You guys don't have to go get a McDouble for $3 and feel like crap afterwards. And it's no hate to anybody specific out there, but there's better decisions to make, and we're going to show you how.
100%. And it's more like $6 than $3. I
Yeah,
mean, it's kind of like Peyton when Preston was here. He made him a grilled cheese sandwich and he put taco uppercut
Yes,
in
he
it.
did.
yeah,
And I
that
said to
sounds
him,
good.
Yeah, it was so good when he made that.
yeah. And so, and Preston made us homemade from scratch mac and cheese with smoked Gouda cheese because everybody Americans say Gouda, it's Gouda because and
I
it's
got you.
Gouda. I'm Dutch, so it's Gouda. And
You're like, let me stand corrected over here.
I know
I mean, you guys are not just saying it right.
I know it drives me crazy. Like when I go to a delicatessen or something, I'll be like, "How then? We don't have that. Yeah, it's right there. No, that's Gouda.
They're
No,
like,
it's Gouda." I'm like, "No,
right.
I'm Dutch.
They're like,
I'm Dutch.
Gouda?
Okay,
Gouda?
I'm as Dutch as
Right.
they come without living in the Netherlands. I
Yeah,
mean, I
you're
was
like, it's
born and raised in
embedded.
a yeah. I was born and raised in a full Dutch family. Went to Dutch Christian schools from kindergarten through college. Went
Right.
to the Dutch Christian
As
Reformed
far as
Church.
you're
I mean,
concerned, it's Howda.
yeah, it's Gouda. And go over there. It's Gouda. They'll tell you it's
Yeah.
Gouda. And so, he made us with the smoked Gouda cheese and the, cream. So it was really creamy. And he put the taco uppercut in it. And boy, it was so good. And, here's the thing people think that everything has to be just so bland when you're cooking at home. You get yourself taco uppercut and you just put it in everything. We made hot chocolate with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it may sound weird, but it's really good.
It is.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
so
like
good.
I'm sure it gave it like a twang, but still was like very much within that realm of hot chocolate. Like it just was maybe a little something extra in there,
When we
like
made
a
it,
horchata type idea or
that's
something to that
exactly what it
effect. Yeah,
was. And I said to him, we can go up the street and go to one of these fancy coffee shops and spend $7 a
yeah,
thing, or we can buy one of
easily.
these for 15 and we can make 100 cups.
Yeah,
You choose. That's
yeah,
why a little bit of using like creativity. That's why I like that Mariana too, because she's always thinking of new things. She grows a lot of the vegetables in her
yeah.
yard. She's like really good with it.
I think that's kind of what we're saying is like we're trying to teach life skills overall that like being
Yes.
frugal, being efficient, being resourceful are major, major life skills, especially as you age. So even if you're only 18 and you're watching this, you learn this stuff by the time you're 20, you'll be light years ahead of some people that are in their 40s, 50s, because they just never spent any time soaking up these small skills that are big in the grander scheme of things. So that's why we want to teach you guys this stuff too. It'll really get you ahead.
Well, and here's the other thing. So if you're single and you're in your 30s and you really, you're renting an apartment, right? And that's what they're all complaining about. I can't afford to buy a house, da 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 da. Because
Yeah.
the same people who are driving through Starbucks every day, going through a drive-through or stopping off and getting having Uber Eats delivered to their house or whatever. Instead, start cooking this stuff, make your meals ahead for the week. That's what my boys do, my grown
Yeah.
boys. And that's what they do. And then guess what? So watch what you spend. Go do your normal thing one week. See what you spend. Let's just say you spend $85, okay, to eat. Go do it the next week and say you spend $50. You
Right.
take that $35, put it in a savings account. You start doing that. You do that at 30 years old. By the time you're 40, you've got yourself a down payment on a house.
Right. Right.
And the
If there's a
only,
will, there's always a way. You just got to think outside the box. And I
and
think
you,
some people put themselves in the box.
I agree. And I
Yeah.
also think that not people don't realize a lot of times that buying like a seasoning can make all the difference because you go, well, I'm sick of eating, mashed potatoes or whatever.
Right.
Great. Throw that in there. Guess
Whole
what?
new world.
It is completely,
Yeah.
a
Think
baked
of all the
potato.
dishes Peyton has done that are like things that we eat all the time.
Yep.
So like you said, maybe you're even become a little jaded to it. Okay, throw this in there. Now all of a sudden it's a whole different party. So,
Yep.
and that again, it can inspire you to do more things. It's like, well, now I'm excited to go home and eat that chicken instead of stopping off somewhere, So totally is worth the investment. And it's also just worth it to try to make something like that work for you instead of you always working and then going to spend it at the drive-thru. It's just not the right way.
No, I agree. And I think, you know what, that gives me an idea. I think we should try to ask if we can get Mariana on the
Yeah,
podcast with us. And
I'd love that.
yeah,
Maybe
she's
me and
just,
her can like correspondingly cook together because I know she's got it set up too. So
yes, she does.
we could do some grilling on here.
And she's just such a sweetheart. Like I just love her. It's so funny because we found each other totally by chance, kind of like you and I did.
Yeah,
And we've developed this friendship, and she's planning to come down to Florida. And I'm like, if you come to Florida and I don't see you, I'm gonna be mad. Like
right.
like
Like we're friends now.
yeah, we're friends.
Yeah.
I told her that the other day. I said, listen, I sent her this, it was a meme, and it said something like, I don't think you realize you're my friend, you're not getting rid of me. I sent her a meme like that. Because
Yeah,
every time I see those, bread ones, the sourdough, I send her all the memes and she laughs
yeah,
because she's so about it. But you know what? What I love is she's on there pouring her heart out to people, showing
yeah.
people, look, it's not as hard as you think it is.
Nah. And I feel like sometimes it's that type of stuff that is more inspiring because people see things like, dare I say, like some of the content I do, and maybe it just seems too far away. And it's like that's not so inspiring to some people. It's intimidating. So when you have somebody who's just like down to earth and they're making like Peyton that's just making real easy and just cool recipes, or Mariana that's like she, she's making something like sourdough, and even if it's not this glorious overproduced thing, it's more like, hey, you can do it too. It's like that's more inspiring sometimes, for sure. Like everybody feels a little more included when it's like, listen, it's not so just walk with me here. I'm gonna show you how to make this. Yeah, that's
Well,
cool.
you do a lot of
We
those
definitely should
videos
have
too.
her on.
And what I like about what you do is you do a lot of those videos too. And then your fancier ones are great for people that are going to have, Christmas at their house or
Yeah,
something. And then they're, instead of ordering from somewhere else, because, when we were waiting for our house to be ready and we were living in a hotel, people were talking about, oh, yeah, did you know that, like, such and such, you can buy this, you can buy that, you can get the whole meal. And I thought, see, we're doing all this to get people to stop cooking, you
right.
know, and I saw a video so great, excuse me, the other day on, I can't remember if it was Facebook or Instagram, which are my two least favorite. I like Twitter, X way better, but it was on one of those two. And one of the things that they showed was 1950s, okay, and everybody in the kitchen cooking for Christmas.
Right.
And by the time it got to 2000, and like now, everybody's in their own houses and they've ordered in, and the guy brings it to their front door and says,
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. And the people are sitting alone. And it was showing how, back then, that was part of the coming together, was cooking together. I'll bring the
Massive.
salad, you bring the, and that's the other thing. This is great on just a salad. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's great on just a salad. It's great on cottage cheese. You don't want to just say
Yeah.
cottage cheese. It's great on cottage cheese. And you know what I'd really like to do? I'd like to put this into I don't make sourdough, but I'd love to make a sourdough and put it in the
That
sourdough.
would be great.
Wouldn't it?
That would be great.
Yeah.
Because then it's like all infused in there. Oh, yeah. That
Yeah.
sounds great. I love
Because
sourdough. I really do.
so does Preston. Well,
Yeah.
Preston's kind of got us addicted to it now.
Yeah. No, it's great. And it's fun to make too. Like
Never
make your own
complain.
little,
Yeah.
what is it called? The mother or whatever? The like original yeast that you keep and you always take a piece of it for the next
Yeah.
round or what? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I've gotten kind of addicted to that kind of stuff and watching
Yeah.
those kind of videos because
Yeah.
it's kind of like, like what we're doing on here. It's like, hey, folks, this is just kind of fun. Enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Get to talk to
Let's go
people.
do
Get
the
off of
thing.
this and
Yeah.
start talking to people.
100%.
So, all right. Well, another great episode of Grillin for Awesomism.
Thanks for
And
stopping by.
yep. And don't forget to go to whitebullsbarbecue.shop, order yours today. And follow Team Awesomism, Awesomism Mom, and White Bulls Barbecue on all social media. And make sure you let us know that you heard us. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.